Hey everybody. Well, we had a thing that happened. The market was doing a god awful thing today, just going nothing but going down. There's so much news to go over here. First off, let me fudge. All right, breaking news here. Donald Trump says we have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow, on primary site Fordow. Okay. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He says that and he mic drops it. This is straight from Trump on Truth Social. This happened like 8 minutes ago. He tweeted this 8 minutes ago. I imagine this took place an hour or two ago. This is a wild one. Peace should definitely still be the goal. I don't know how many civilians were hurt because of it. Hopefully, no civilians were hurt. In this, Watcher Guru even reposts: United States launches attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. Again, hopefully this is just a this is it, and maybe they took out people they needed to take out, and then at the end of the day, no more bombs drop. But I think some people in the markets probably knew this was going to happen because the market's just absolutely dumped today. Bitcoin was down at around 101. It probably went under 101 at one point. It does seem to have bounced back a little bit. Ethereum's down 5% at 2200. It's at 2293. They do seem to have been bounced back the last hour, so I'm almost positive there was a bunch of inside info like, hey, we're doing this today. Trump announces U.S. successfully strikes 3 Iranian nuclear sites. I mean, if you were worried about Iran having a nuke, probably not worried about that anymore. Again, I've been reading in the papers since the 90s that Iran is close to having a nuke. Were they actually close to having a nuke this time? I don't know. Was that an excuse to carry out some again, I have no idea. But Trump says to Iran, you have 2 weeks to concede. It's weird. Trump was holding off on military strikes, but only if Iran can. And that is so strange that Mario Nawfal reported this, or CNN reported this, saying Trump is holding off on military strikes. He told aides he wants a diplomatic path to. Man, that is wild. Saying one thing and doing another. Houses ablaze. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. So anyway, Donald Trump actually just posted that on himself over on X, kind of reposting what he did over on Truth Social. Do you guys support that U.S. military involvement in Iran? Yes or no? Comment down below. Really curious to hear your thoughts on it. We also have breaking news. There was this one guy. I won't dox him. I won't say his name. He had bought a bunch of daCAT. I think like earlier, it was earlier in the year when we were at like a $400,000 market cap, give or take. Bought a healthy amount, like 20-something thousand dollars worth, kind of wrote it up with us, and now Gecko Terminal's not okay. And DEVVE's back up to 40 cents. Okay. Anyway, going to daCAT here is now down 41% because the guy that put in, 20K, give or take, unloaded it all at once, and you just see almost $32,000 there in one sell and just absolutely tanked it. So daCAT is now down to a $845,000 market cap. We're down to about maybe 1.4 earlier today, just because it's paired with ETH. So whenever ETH goes down, it takes daCAT down with it. So you have probably a very big. That is wild. That there's 247,000 liquidity, but I think this is wrong because it says $121,000 worth of daCAT, and $121,000 worth of Ethereum. And again, he just sold $32,000 worth of the cat and took out 32K worth of ETH, or like 28K worth of ETH, right? Like if you sell 32, you don't get that much. You get like 28. Again, if he would have gone on and sold it at like clips of 5 or 10K at a time, probably would have gotten a little bit more. They might have lost about 4K in this. So we'll go over the daCAT. Where is this here? We'll go over the daCAT news today, but yeah, just so you know, that's kind of what happened. There was a big sell-off from a big whale that sold like 30K at once, which is just absolutely demolished the price. So we'll see where that goes. I do expect it to go up again with ETH. It is back down. It's down to 800,000. I did buy just a little bit more. I just like $200 worth. At it. So actually that should be more than that. Give me 1 sec. I have to change something in my notes here. 4. Okay. Moving on here. Going to the news that daCAT had on the day. It says, shout out to monk_meme_ETH. It's like monkey, but spelled MONKE. There's no Y in there. 2,900 followers. Say, Monk, the bullish ape, was born for the trenches of crypto Twitter and embodies the raw rush of FOMO. The monk apes first and ask questions later. What we aping? So I say shout out to monk_meme_ETH for striking a deal with me and joining the daCAT token comic universe. The comic will be on VeVe Official and then available on Stacker World for OMI. Welcome to the family. And you have a bunch of people going in and saying congratulations, saying let's go. I think what was I on page like 7 yesterday of the Nike the Pig comic. I am on now page like 12. So we had a good day of writing for the last couple of days. I'll go and get more done over the next few days. I really want to be done by next week because again, after Nike the Pig, there's DigiJoints. There's Heinecoin, and then now there's Monk. So if anyone wants to come in, it is anyone else, it is going to be a high cost because I have straight up I have no what do you call it? I have no time left. I will be busy for the next 2 months. So if anyone wants to come in, it's going to be quite a bit of money. So I would advise waiting. If you have the money and say like, hey, I want to solidify my place in it, by all means, shoot me a message, go right ahead. If you want to be in it, but you don't want to pay that much, wait a couple months and then I should be good. Unless of course other stuff just absolutely goes bananas. But I want to see how the Iran thing is affecting the markets here. And all right, let's do SHIRO here real quick. SHIRO down about 8% on the day, 796,000 in volume, $3.2 million market cap. And if you take a look over the last like 3 months, it's the lowest it's been, I think, it's like ever. Yeah, it's the lowest it's been, I think, ever. And I don't know if the bombing's gonna help or hurt anything. Again, it seemed like the markets bottomed just before or as the bombing was taking place. And then, yeah, like Bitcoin, like you see here, like, oh, we just bombed Iran, rush, absolute rush, going from 101 to like 102.3, up $1,000 in like an hour. Now that the news are hitting here, called it top holder on my 100K buy yet. There. So I am going to give me 1 second here. I can scoop up 10% before the end of the year. So back when, what was it? Like 3 months ago when daCAT was at like 400K, I was like, guys, I can probably scoop up, 10% before the end of the year. And then obviously it went to like 1.8 at one point, and then I was like, okay, probably not going to be able to do that anymore. But now that it's at like 800K, I think I might be able to. So 30K is nothing, and the day is pretty, yeah, that was a lot. It's only flaw, the way people set up, people are flaws, humanity, yeah. So the war is, and again, hopefully that's it. Hopefully it's like over. Now could have walked away. The cat messages be blowing up, which is fine. So SHIRO, let me go back to that real quick. Is at, there's another thing called LongCat. It's on like 80% today. I have no idea what that is. But SHIRO, yeah, 3.2 million. They had a meow report today, or a mew report coming from Billy, known as Hero, and he seemed very calm. I'm not 100% sure what they have up their sleeves. Like, they sponsor the channel, but they're not. Like, I don't think I have any inside info on it. But he seemed very calm and pretty excited, because SHIRO as a project is actually ahead of where it was. It's just the hack just brutalized them. That and the down market the past couple of weeks. Again, a lot of stuff. I mean, when Bitcoin goes from like 112 down to like 101, most of the rest of the market is kind of a little bit shaky. Yeah, ETH and Bitcoin just keep going up now. But let me see what the rest of the market is like this past hour. Everything's up. That's so strange. People worried about escalation, and then as soon as the US bombs, then they're all fine with it, which I think, because again, if they attack the nuclear facilities and they're like, okay, well, now if the enemies can't do as much or anything, then that maybe they feel safer. Shib Toshi goes and says, oh, he just reposted it. That's it. What do we have here? Tesla $1 trillion autonomous. Wait, why is that? That's okay. Test Hub come out. There hasn't been any news for the last couple of minutes. It's just Mario Nawful had a. Well, you have a couple of people saying World War III is coming, but this is. I mean, God, Trump is no joke. Is it over now? Like, is it done? Can the market finally boom? Because we are straight up. We had a rough go of it. Nancy Mace just texted Trump to congratulate him, saying the greatest president in history. I'm speechless. He's done what no one else could ever do. I mean, he didn't drop nukes on them. He just nuked he just bombed their facility, their supposed nuclear facilities. Oh God, this dude is so crazy. Anyway, let's keep on going here for the rest of the, what do we have? Strong VeVe comic sales. All right, we have DeLorean, dude. We have a crazy announcement for them. The DeLorean sale, or not sales. Well, I guess it's going to go on sale soon. Binance today had said, we're pleased to announce that Binance, 14.5 million followers, Binance, has said we will be the first platform to feature DeLorean, or DMC. Binance Alpha trading opens on June 24th at 11 a.m. UTC. That is 7 a.m. Eastern. Binance Futures trading opens on 1300 UTC. That is 9 a.m. Eastern. Eligible users will need to use Binance Alpha points to claim their airdrop on the Alpha events page when Alpha trading opens. Further details will be announced on June 24th. Shoot. Said before, as long as you don't sell more than you put in, don't do it all at once. Fair game. Okay. Trade the chart. On the side, we can accumulate lower here. Yeah. Go. Start buying back. Yeah, I could. All right, so I really want to get more daCAT here, and I don't have a ton of extra money, like a few K worth. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'll do another 200. Where's my USDC? Going to the kitty. So I do appreciate the discount that we're getting here. And we are swapping. Okay, cool. And what are we at? $800,000 market cap, 866. So let's say that's 12. Okay. So what is 24? Give me 1 second here. Let me put it in my notes. 47. Okay, so at a $10 million market cap, I'll have $47,000 worth of daCAT. And I don't think I can really sell any of that. I mean, I might be able to, but slowly make it. Oh, nice. Got a little green candle there. Small little itty bitty. After that giant red one, there's a small itty bitty green one over there. I think it just went through, so it might not show just yet. Yeah, last 25 seconds. Cool. And again, really curious on how it goes for Ethereum there as well. 856, 33,000 in trading volume. Haven't had that before. Anyway, let's continue on the DMC here to see some of the people that have talked about that. You just have so many people, some from the SHIRO family, talking about DeLorean, and I'm really curious on where that goes. So we are legit 3 days away from that. Really, like 2.5 days. Yeah, it's because it's like 60 hours away. And when that goes live, again, they're on BitGet, they're on Binance, I think they're going to be on everywhere. I haven't heard Coinbase yet, but they are. Let me go to DeLorean Labs here real quick, because I know they reposted that, and even that they themselves have 158,000 followers, so it's pretty big. Oh, Gate.io as well. Or no, it's not Gate.io, it's Gate Launch. 408, 3,000 followers, says Gate Launch pools stake GT, USDT, DMC to earn 64 million DMC. Staking period is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time from June 21st to July 22nd. Highest estimated APRs up to 760%. Stake early, rewards auto-distributed when mining starts. I mean, if they're going to have people that stake and lock their stuff up, I mean, this is going to be a pretty big launch. I'm so curious on when other people can sell. Even CoinMarketCap saying you aped without doing your own research, and then they show the Doc Brown with Marty McFly. So DeLorean going and saying, do your own research, listen to CoinMarketCap. Projects with substance will last no matter what market we're in. Them posting when movies become reality, $DMC. So again, the marketing has been pretty epic for it. So the future of Web3 starts right now. 1 second here. I'm sorry. Cool. 1,200. Start buying back. Gets. Bazooka Josh is awesome. Project will never drop. I put in $400 since the big sell-off. I will put more in. What do we got in like 10 days? I feel like in 10 days some of this will be recovered though. They started a video chat and I can't answer because I'm on here. People, it's weird. The whales are really unfazed by this. Pick up another trillion. My God, man. Legend. I do ENS. Other reason I haven't bought more is because I'm gonna go broke. Same here, fam. Same here. Gonna go broke. I'm unfazed. During times like these, to find out who's solid. Agreed. Understand the problem. Working through some debt myself. Yep. Agreed. I'm live, so I can't join. All right, let me get to some of the comments here. Hype Master saying, "What up, Randy? Yo, what's going on, Hype Master? Waiting to see how the markets react to this U.S. bombing Iran, and so far it's been pretty positive. Little spike up, then a little dip down. So again, we'll see. How are they going to react? Mostly, I'll keep you posted. Trump's going to address it in like 2 hours. And my messages are gone. They no longer belong to me. What's up, Bill Gardner? How's it going? Dabs, give me those dabs. What up, bruh? Cool beans. Talk things through. Catch me up later, fam. All right, so that's DeLorean. We did daCAT. We did SHIRO, DMC. Let's do DEVVE here. DEVVE is not in the title of this video, just because I have a lot of sponsors and they technically don't actually pay me. They will once the exchange comes out. So we were down to like 38 cents today. A couple of times. It seems that I'm done though. I can't put any more in, any extra doll hairs. I had just went to some daCAT because of that massive sell-off. So I have no monies left. However, I do have some Ethereum. I'm going to wait for that to go back to maybe, I don't know, 3,000 before I go in and spend any more. By that time, hopefully DEVVE's done and they're up. I'll see exactly what I get asked where I have more daCAT than I do Ethereum. I don't know what it's going to take in order for DEVVE to go up. Like I said, probably marketing. We do have a little bit of news from the Telegram chat though, and I'll go over that. This is from a guy named Tool Booth Willie. Tool Booth Willie says, "Hi, I've noticed the vibe in the chat has been a little down lately. Understandably, everyone's hungry for news, and the recent price action has felt frustrating to many, so I wanted to take a moment to zoom out and really appreciate what's happened behind the scenes. DEVVE has already locked in and announced a major partnership with DeLubac&C, a fully licensed and highly respected French bank who has been operating at the forefront of both traditional finance and crypto for a number of years. While it may not have brought the spotlight some were hoping for, in my view, it's a huge seal of institutional trust. As even Tom and others have said, it will open doors to real-world banking and asset custody. On top of that, oh my God, these messages, I'm so sorry. On top of that, we know the team is actively working with a major global financial institution, and they've made it clear this isn't just a marketing deal, but a genuine joint product partnership. We know DEVVE is building a new exchange that will bring together crypto and real-world assets with the goal of bridging TradFi into the DeFi space. We also know this will offer instant settlement, fraud and theft protection, and a token that plays a central role in how everything operates, which will actually be truly unique in a space full of copycats. Yes, there are other projects that might seem more visible right now, but unlike many of them, DEVVE isn't building on hype. What they're building are serious institutional level developments that take time to build. And as Thomas said, this could be a real paradigm shift that reshapes how the entire financial system works on a global scale. The tech, the partnerships they're forming, the vision the team is working toward, I believe truly sets DEVVE out and apart from everything else. Personally, I'm more bullish than ever. This is the kind of foundation that will lead to real adoption and long-term impact. When the exchange goes live and these partnerships fully come into view, I think a lot of people will look back and wish they'd seen it sooner. If you're feeling unsure, just remember that this isn't some flash in the pan trend. DEVVE has been building a blockchain for RWAs and institutions before anyone is even thinking about it. All I can say is let's stay focused and enjoy the journey. The best is still ahead. Yeah, meow, meow, meow. Good for them. And that's what it was like for the most recent thing on DEVVE. Again, there's really not a lot of stuff there. It's been pretty quiet just because it's been so negative on the charts lately. And part of that is just because of the market. Part of that is because people get tired of waiting. They get frustrated. I've only added a lot more. Again, over the last 3 months, when we were up to like 90 cents and we're down like 60% from that, and other stuff has maybe gone, I mean, the last few weeks, everything's gone down. But aside from that, when other stuff has gone up and everything hasn't, and this happens in every project, it's not exclusive to DEVVE. Happens in OMI, DEVVE, like again, and any project you take a look at that's down for a while, regardless of fundamentals, people are like, okay, there's no hype, there's no fundamentals, other stuff is moving. I'm going to take it out of what's not moving, put it into what's in moving. And they do the opposite of buy low, sell high. They go in and they buy at whatever price. It goes lower. They sell low, locking in those losses, and then put it into something that's higher, or it's moving in that trend, hoping it'll go even higher than that. And sometimes it does. Typically, traders that can't hold, though, usually get wrecked. So the dude that just sold a bunch of daCAT. Now, granted, he bought a bunch of daCAT at like when it was like $400,000 or $500,000 market cap, sold at like 1.5. So he made a healthy profit. But yeah, that's not. If that guy ever buys in again, I will not buy in after him because I know he'll sell. I'll go in and buy after he sells. So let's take a look at. Yeah, my DMs are blowing up. No pun intended when I say the DMs are blowing up. I have added quite a bit of DEVVE. It hasn't helped. I put like 40K in. It's worth like 23K, so it's not worth a lot. Like it is. Have we bottomed out for DEVVE? We might have. DEVVE was literally 4.5x the price from this earlier this year at like $1.80. So if there was any time to get in, I mean, time to get in would have been like last year when it was at like 12 cents. But if there was any other time to get in, I would not blame you for getting in now. I would not blame you for saying like, oh yeah, you know what, this could be cool. No, we shouldn't. Yes. Nobody send anything negative. It's so strange. We've been signing so many deals at daCAT, and then I think I know why. Also, Nike the Pig, complete Nike, and the complete. Just a new list, not the mixed up random Nike's NFT collection. Oh, there's a cowboy and a farmer, and there's a dragon Nike. Oh, there's a royal Nike. Oh, there's so many of these. Okay. Send me your email. I'll send you what I have so far. It's a lot of these Nikes. Yeah, what up, Sean? How's it going? Joe Bro saying, what's up, fam? What's up, brother? How you doing? How you doing? Line of Vampires. What's up, y'all? Trying to see how the market's going to move from this bombing stuff. Let's go to Definity and see what Definity's up to. I think they're actually up on the day. DEFX. Nope, down 3%. We're down to about 2.8 cents with 3,000 in volume. 119,000 liquidity at a $4.5 million market cap, or 4.3, 4.78 fully diluted. And this was, yeah, it wasn't not really down. I think it was down mostly because of ETH. That's really about it. Let's see where ETH is at. Oh shoot, that's DEVVE. Bitcoin's up 1% on the hour. Ethereum's up 0.7% on the hour. So people have a pretty good. I want to see real quick where we have people praying for peace. Is this bullish for people? I don't know. Lindsey Graham 18 months ago said, hit Iran now, hit him hard. Took 18 months, but I guess he finally got what he wanted. Not really a big fan of him, but you know what? It's fine. I was really waiting for Marionov. All right. U.S. used B-2A stealth bombers to strike Iran. U.S. officials confirmed B-2A Spirit bombers were deployed in the attack on Iranian nuclear sites. The long-range stealth aircraft are capable of carrying bunker-busting payloads, ideal for fortified targets. The bombers hit Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan in a rare show of direct American force. It is a rare show of direct American force. Trump's team tipped off Israeli officials as final preparations for the strikes were underway. The advance notice came just hours before bombs hit Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Okay. Trump returned to the White House early ahead of a high-level meeting on the. No wonder he came to the White House Normally he talks to people, normally talks to reporters. He didn't this time. He went right inside. That must have been exactly when stuff was going down. This was a few hours ago. Advance notices came hours before. Trump returned to the White House early and ahead of high-level meeting on the Israel-Iran crisis, originally set for tomorrow. Moments after arriving, he went public with the attack. U.S. strikes on Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan demonstrate decisive action where the past administrations failed. Biden's appeasement allowed Iran to enrich uranium unchecked. Trump's leadership ended that. These surgical strikes aren't escalation. They're necessary enforcement of red lines against a regime that funds terror and pursues nukes. Israelis' coordination proves allied resolve. Weakness invites aggression. Strength restores deterrence. Peace isn't negotiated with nuclear blackmailers. It's enforced by overwhelming military superiority. Every dollar spent here prevents trillion-dollar wars later. The era of empty diplomacy is over. Action speaks louder than UN resolutions. Trump bombs Iran. Markets actually bullish on it. I'm telling the whale group here. That's what it seems. I thought this would be negative, but it doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be. Anyway, let me get to. I want to ask you guys something here real quick. Y'all can smash that like button. That'd be a free way to help support the channel on Freeways, Patreon, / the super thanks button down below, super chats as well. You know what I mean. You know what I want. All right, and then let's get to a Comey and see where they're at. Comey's down 1.5% on the day to 000192, or 1.8% on the day at 000192. We have been 000119. Oh, actually, no. This is the lowest we've been in. This is the lowest we've been, I think, in a while, because we were at 001944. Now it's 191. So are we going to break below 000019? I don't know. We'll see. Again, I have a whale that now has over a billion OMI. What's it going to be? I mean, I think in the next 8 months he'll be very happy. But like I said, anything can have this market go crazy. Like one $30,000 sell took the price of daCAT and it dumped it like 40. It almost cut it in half, like 42%. Now, granted, it was a $1.5 million market cap as opposed to a Comey that is a $52 million market cap, 1.78 million in volume on the day here, and a quarter of that was from DeepCoin. On Uniswap on base, we're actually below 000019. We're 001896. On Ethereum, we're 001978. On OKX, we're 0002. But on base, where granted, there's only 64,000 in volume on base, so I'm not going to put too much there into it. The rest of it is on Gate.io and MEXC and Bitmart and 0019 there. So again, I think that's mostly fine. Kuma says, "What up, fam?" Oh, there's a lot of crazy stuff going down, Kuma, in the world, and the markets seem pretty bullish on it. And if Trump dropping 3 precision strikes on their nuclear, if that doesn't end it, like if that doesn't end this conflict, I feel like Johnny Depp with Once Upon a Time in Mexico, where it says, if that isn't interagency cooperation, I just don't know what is. If this doesn't end the conflict, I don't know what will. Like what else are they going to do? Fucking nuke them again. Strongly. Okay, hang on. I gotta send a copy of the Microsoft Word of the Nike the pig here. Make sure it's good. Oh my gosh, I have so much. I have written so much. If this was NaNoWriMo, I'd be done. panel 5. We're on page. Okay, good. We're going to share a copy, send a copy of a Word PDF. Okay, there we go. Paste. Okay. Say meow. Sending. Hey, Georgia Carrera, Mrs. Hart, saying hello, everybody. How you doing? Meow meow. Yeah, we've been going over that for a minute here. Let me make sure this sent out. Sending one of my copies here. Okay. Sent. Jason Payne says, so it's true, Randy, the troops get steak and lobster before deployment. Yeah, either being deployed already, they get that, or when they're about to go. And they got all that last week. So now, does the U.S. invade? Oh, please don't invade. Please don't invade. That would be such a shit show. Just please make it so that they're just done and can never build a nuke. I don't know. I don't know what the right play is here. Yeah. I feel like they should maybe do what they did to Iran in 1953 and take out their leader and put in a pro-American one, put in a pro-peace one. Like we've done it before, you know, I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, Grumpy's good. Love that Grumpy. Are they okay? I don't really pay attention to their markets, so I'm very curious to see what they do. And if so, listen, guys, I'm gonna need a drink for this one. Tell y'all some Chavez deployment stories. Okay, Chavez deployment story number 642. I served with a couple of IDF guys, and when I say I served, like we didn't do any. Well, I guess they count as joint operations. Like, you would have some IDF planes come in to Kuwait, and when they would come in, my job would just be like, okay, let me take a look at a manifest, see what cargo's on there, see what passengers are on there, etc. You know, and that's really it. But the IDF guys were always pretty cool. They're always pretty serious. Remember in the movie Pocahontas, where they try to set up Pocahontas with Kocoum, and then she's like, he's so serious. Like that is all of the Israeli I don't know if I've seen him laugh. Oh no, I have. And again, this is from the IDF guys that are like in the shit, right? They're like in there. They say y'all remember in like 2019 when they had the invade Area 51 memes? And what me and my military friends were going to do, we were going to go set up. They were at, I'm trying to think what that Air Force base, Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada, right next to there. We were going to go set up, have a cookout. Oh my God, guys, Black people cookouts. The food, the seasoning, the spices. If you've never been to a Black cookout, that has to be like one of the top 10 things that a non-Black person has to do. It's amazing. Anyway, we're gonna have this cookout on the mountain that's like right next to Area 51, watching like the Kyles like run to their deaths, right? That's what IDF said they do when Israel bombs Palestine. And again, this is coming from IDF soldiers that I had served with, and this is the only time they were laughing. So they're a little too military for me. Military in general we have a very, very messed up, very dark sense of humor. So what they said they would do over in Israel is they would have rocket parties. They would sit on a cliff, on a whatever, and they would play music, they would barbecue, and watch the rockets go into Palestine. And so that is wild. When I say IDF has no chill, now granted, again, I have no idea when. Maybe it's went back to the Bible, but this whole conflict was going around for like thousands of years, right? I could definitely picture the Israeli market soaring after Iran gets bombed. Anyone that there's probably people that made a ton of money today, in terms of character, engineer, nutritionist, botanist, like character design. Was it for the Nikeverse collection? Came from the Nikeverse collection. The champions are 100% from the Nike collection. The scientist Nikes were what I needed to logically explain how they made a super Nike from the shards. Let's put that as DNA. To fight Nolan and his forces so quickly. Yeah, all right. So you want to know what I had to do for Nike the Pig here? They're like, yeah, each 5,555 Nikes have a shard in them that when combined can take on their evil. So I had to figure out a way how to combine these shards into one. So like the amount of scientific hoops I had to jump through in order to tell this freaking story is wild. It's beyond me. Following the team on ones, that would be awesome. Read into the story. It becomes more clear around page 12 or so. We end up having a type of Nike that doesn't have a closed or your artist can make up for sure. Oh, our artist. We can find an artist from your community, or I can find one from X just by posting. We will have fun with it. Yeah. Okay. Jason Payne saying everybody wants to rule the world. There's a couple of people want to rule it. Yeah. This is hard. Repost. Oh, why? Thank you, Georgia Carrera, for reposting the stream, my man. Yep. Oh wow. There's okay. The messages are just online. I'm never gonna catch up with this. And Bitcoin is back. Okay, bro, this is wild. Bitcoin up 2% in the last hour, back up over 103,000. Ethereum up 3%, back up over 2,300. I guess bombing Iran is good for markets. I will not. You know what? If they just bomb the nuclear facilities and no, what's that called? No civilians were. Yeah. I guess our bags are gonna be okay. Our bags are going to be okay. Let me. Send this to the daCAT people. Oh gosh, where are the daCAT people? Oh man, Grumpy Cat is my freaking hero. Let me do this. Bombing Iran is great for our bags, apparently. Yeah, that's wild that everything's up. That is wild. That yeah, New York Times, way to be late. Way to be late over here. There is a bunch of news. It's in a few hours' time. Okay, cool. Thomas Matthew says Trump launching U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities is not constitutional. So, he's probably correct, but at this time, like, listen, like, if it's going to be them getting a nuke or Trump eroding on the I know that sets a horrible precedent, and he's probably right. Well, you have the War Powers Act, where I think if that's what he inducted, then he's actually well within his right. This is a big political mess because it's unclear. The War Powers Act, you can deploy troops, you can do whatever, and if it's a conflict, it's not a actual war. I mean, you definitely don't want presidents to be able to go rogue and bomb whoever they want. But this seemed like it was probably necessary. Better be safe than sorry. And again, like the reasoning here, I think is probably justified. But again, you don't want presidents being able to have that ability. Yeah, this is hard. Disneyland tuning for your chance to win. Oh shoot! All right, sorry, Magic. I was not able to do that. Subjective. U.S. dropped 30. Oh my God, they dropped 30 plus tons of explosive on Iran. According to our sources, 2 bombs hit entrances on the Fordow facility. There are reports of strikes on Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan nuclear sites. Estimated 30 tons of explosives were used in the Fordow strike alone. Jesus. Sources is Fox News, Al Jazeera News Cabinet. Iran strikes were planned in complete silence. From Fox News reporter Jennifer Griffin, saying it's notable how much deception was involved in this operation. All eyes were looking west towards Guam and the B-2s that took off late last night towards Guam. All of our information is coming right now out of the White House. That is a significant achievement. There were no leaks about the timing. Good. Israel pressed the U.S. to strike Iran sooner. I'm glad that Trump stood his ground and said, no, we're going to do it on my timeline. Israeli leaders warned Trump's team that they didn't want to wait 2 weeks for action on Iran's nuclear program. In a tense call before the strikes, Netanyahu's inner circle said they might hit Fordow themselves if the U.S. delayed. They argued the window how to destroy the underground site was closing, and only America had the weapons to reach it. USA! 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 Sorry. Vice President Vance pushed back, cautioning that Israel was risking dragging the U.S. into broader war. I hate that this feels so good. Give me 1 second here. Gonna message my military chat. Going to thank your score. Yep. Want to lend cash, crypto, into personal loans, even line of credit cards, or pay everyday expenses, pay off, even margin. I have so much capital. I don't need credit. Credit is for the weak. I have USA. I have USA bombing Iran, taking care of my bags. This is wild, guys. Jason Payne said, "That's it. That's lunch." Watching Four Kings tonight. Is it Four Brothers? Oh wait, no, Four Kings. Is that the one where they're in Kuwait and they like rob Saddam's palace? If so, then yes, great movie. But no, our bags are actually up. Who knew that bombing Iran was good for the markets? I should have guessed Israel's, yeah, but crypto, Cat 216 says, we've heard for the last 30 years that Iran has been months away from nuclear programs. This is wrong in so many ways. Listen, I have brought up that point multiple times, and I agree. Like, since the 90s, I've been hearing like Iran's this close to getting a nuclear weapon. And again, they've been using this tactic for decades, like you said. But, you know, like, why now? Like, honestly, a broken clock is right twice a day, and it wouldn't surprise me, especially with ChatGPT or any type of AI, that the scientists there in Iran, that they probably could get a, um, you know, they probably could get close to a nuke. It's been 30 freaking years. So I guess it's been like 80 years since we've actually developed it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they if I would be surprised if they couldn't get a nuke by now. Like, what the fuck are you doing after almost after 80% of a century, after everyone else figured it out? I am surprised that it honestly took them this long. But I agree that when Thomas Massey says that this is unconstitutional, he's probably right. War Powers Act can only do so much. You don't want. At what point will we know what point will we know the narrative hasn't come? For what? For TradFi, for DeSci, for AI, for gaming, for NFTs, like for memes. Like, you gotta give me something, like, because there are multiple narratives here. Are you talking about like an alt season? Shows has been played by the Israeli government. Trump's own intelligence agency has said they aren't there. And again, take this with a huge grain of salt, where Israel pressed the US to strike sooner. So this is from Reuters, and if I remember correctly, Reuters is actually fairly left-leaning, where it said Israeli leaders warned Trump team that they didn't want to wait 2 weeks for action on Iran's nuclear program. In a tense call before the strikes, Netanyahu's inner circle said that they might hit Fordo themselves if the US delayed. They argued the window to destroy the underground site was closing, but America was the only one that had the weapons to reach it. Vice President Vance pushed back, cautioning that Israel was risking dragging the US into a broader war. I mean, again, I don't know where these were from. Intelligence is like, it's very hard to vet, because you have to, a spy's job is very hard. It is actually probably one of the most difficult jobs on the planet. Did they vet that intelligence? If you can give me a link, that would be great. I would love to look at it. Shoot me a message on X or wherever you know me from, and then I'll take a look. But I wouldn't say that Trump has been played by the Israeli government. You could argue that they might have forced his hand, saying like, well, we're going to do it ourselves. And then once Israel said like, okay, we're going to do it ourselves, once an attack on there happens and then it doesn't work, since America is the only one that has those deep bunker busters, then Iran would have been on notice. So maybe the US had gone in and done it before they wanted to. It seems like it might have been successful right now. Who actually knows? Planet Vampire says, I remember John McCain turning Bomb Iran into a Beach Boys bomb Iran. Yeah, I remember. He had such a war boner. Hope it's over now. Honestly, most administration since like Bush had most administrations have just had like this hard on for war. Part of the reason why you had a bunch of people in like 2016 that were anti-Hillary and weren't ready for her is because she's just as much of a war hawk as Bush was and Cheney was, and Obama was. I mean, you can't like quadruple the amount of people, of contractors in Iraq and Afghanistan, and like again, both parties are to blame. Bush, Obama, getting us into these like unconstitutional, undeclared wars, and Obama bombing Yemen less than 24 hours after receiving the Nobel Peace Prize was wild. That honestly, I was not even mad. I was very impressed by that. You have such balls. But yeah, I think just the two-party system in general, like every administration seemed to have a hard on for bomb and war, and the like. Cat says it will cost not only Iranian and Israeli civilians' lives, but U.S. and other Western military lives. Hindsight show what a waste it was. If they respond and Iran says like, okay, now it's over. Now we're not going to stop, and Iran doubles down, you're right. But if this is what gets Iran to say like, okay, all right, we give up. You're right. No nuclear stuff for us. So right now it's Schrodinger's bombing. The markets are up, so people clearly are very bullish that this is going to send Iran running with their tail contritely between their legs. But you're right; they might be wrong. It's possible Iran does double down and they just send whatever payloads they have and just bomb whoever. Or on the other end, it could be them just saying, okay, hey, that was wild. You guys did it. You called our bluff. And yeah, we'll sign whatever agreement now. Or could be somewhere in between. But I think it's really too early to call. But again, as the markets, which are usually pretty good indicators of this, it seems that the war might be, or the conflict might be ending as, again, you have a spike the last hour in crypto. Again, this is the last hour in crypto since this news has come in. Yeah. So this is about 2 hours ago now that it happened. People talking about BankerBot. Israeli ex-defense chief praises U.S. strike on Iran. Yoav Gallant called the attack on Iran's nuclear sites a bold decision by President Trump for Israel, for all of humanity. He's saying the world is now a safer place. All right, so be advised, guys. The video, this is not from the strikes on Iran. That has been debunked. Viral video is not from tonight's U.S. strikes on Iran. Despite widespread claims, the footage is not from the U.S. strikes on Fordow or any other site in Iran. The footage is from a past event and has no connection to tonight's strikes. Okay. Oh, Omar reposted the stream. Thanks, Omar. Thanks, fam. U.S. military warns troops of Iran counterstrikes on bases, potential terrorist attacks abroad, and in the U.S. after Iran strikes. Okay, yeah, I can see that. They will literally do anything aside from releasing that Epstein list. Anywho, major cities, I guess, in the U.S. Watch out: L.A., New York City, Chicago. Like I said, any major city. Troops that are over there. I mean, no wonder they were getting steak and lobster last week. Al-Assad, Al-Qaeda over in Iraq. Probably take caution. Get in the bunker. They already don't sleep over there, so they'll have the fallout shelter, fallen shelter. That again, that's the only thing I know really from Iraq. I don't know where else they'd want to strike, but we'll see. Four Kings, Clooney, Wahlberg, Ice Cube, Wahlberg was also Four Brother. That was Tyrese and Andre 3000. Yeah, Four Brothers is good. Four Kings, I think, if that's the one where they're getting, what was it? Gold from Saddam's palace. What's up, Omar? Good evening. Good evening. That's good for you. Yeah, 30 tons is, no, what is a ton? 2,000, 60,000. Yeah, that makes sense. Nobu said they would bomb, and they did. Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane, says, please pray for peace and for the safety of our troops and fellow Americans here around the world. Agreed, Mr. Kane. What? Sorry. Anyway, let's go to. Oh wow, people with the memes already is wild. All right, let's go to some of the news here. VeVe strong comic sales. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Ace Move says, "Good morning, Randy. Finally back ashore. Hey, you're back ashore. Good for you, mate. Thank you for all the stuff that you do over there. Enjoy your time ashore. Enjoy your time ashore. Anticipating what dip happened. Talking about, yep. So now is counting on Iran declaring war on us. Yeah, always and forever. One of the many loyal people around here. Very good, very good. Oh, kitties. Okay. I'm just gonna. I mean, I guess this is what. Sorry, I need to possibly buy a little more daCAT, which was down 42% and is now only down 37. Yeah, 38. People keep buying, and I want. I'm going to buy a little more. I'm going to buy a little more of daCAT, and then that's it. I'm going to have no more money after this. So let me swap a little bit here of the last of my funds. Get it cheap, and then that'll be it, because I have virtually no money left after this. It's a $900,000 market cap now. So it was 11, so 2,200. Let me go to my notes here. When daCAT hits a $10 million market cap, I'll have $49,200 worth, which I know is not a ton when something does a 10x, but that is what I have. I will keep y'all posted. Anyway, let's do. Okay, that's it. Let's continue on here. For VeVe, when I said comic sales are doing well, and the comics. Oh, let me get rid of some of this here. The latest drops. So this one, the Amazing Spider-Man one, I think this might sell out actually. And again, it's not a first appearance of any significant character. If it would load for me, I would show you, but it is not. I'm saying Iran might end sooner with its war because our main sites were taken out. I hope so, man. I hope so. That would be great. What would be really great if this VeVe app would function the way. There we go. So it is the first Patrick Gleason web head cover, which again, it looks really cool. There are only 243. There are less than 400 of these left. So let's say 27, 23. So they made like $16,000 with that, which again, for a comic, they almost never get in the 5 figures. But they did with this one, and I'm very happy with it. The Maserati, they made like 45K as well. Let me go and take a look here. Was it 1916? Yeah, 1964. All right, so it's 1161. Yeah, $46,000 they made on Maserati. So again, the sales are there. They're doing well. Today's drop, which was Ron English, I don't think this did well at all. Let's see, 1150, so it's 330. Okay, for the common, and then this one minus 150, so it's 330 plus 115. It's 445, and then on the secret rare, there's not going to be not much. So the secret rare, 45. Let's say like 480, $3,300, which is, I guess, fine. I don't see. Here's the thing: like, how much did it cost them to make this? Like, so there are 3 of them. There's the common, the ultra rare, and then the secret rare. How much did it cost them to make that and put that out? They probably lost money on this. I mean, 3,300 is what is fine. Like, I'll take what I can get, but I just feel like that might have. And maybe they're under contract, like, hey, we'll do X amount of drops for you if you do this for us. when you have her on English. I think he was on O'Malley's Space today as well. So that's always nice. And when he did that, oh, a small little Definity buy. Someone buying $144. Yeah, so when they go in, again, shout out to O'Malley for always having these people on. He does really good work over there. Let me take a look at Nova here. Because Nova, this one came out on June 19th. This was 2 days ago. Out of 3,000, okay, there's 1,000, 1,200, 13, 14. So this sold like 1,300 copies. So 9,100. So again, this is first appearance Nova, and Nova's awesome. And it did, you know, like I said, like on very rare does a comic do $10,000 or 5 figures. And Nova was no exception. Did like over 9K. But that other one, that webhead one, was really cool. That was really fun to see. And again, even Nova couldn't do that. So getting 16K, almost 17K from the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 55, I think was really cool. Are you ready for the DBZ Star Wars fandom on Monday? So yeah, in 2 days I'll be on. I forget what the show is called, but the OMI homies, they have a thing where it's going to be 3 Dragon Ball Z fans. I'm going to be one of them. Are going to take on 3 Star Wars fans, and the trivia. I don't know what the trivia is going to be on. So, you know, like I said, I don't know what the trivia is going to be on. I think it'll be cool. It'll be fun. I don't normally hang out with people because I spend my life writing. Or as I had to tell Max about how you're a huge fan of DBZ and have to. Yeah, I do. Right under here, left chesticle is where I have it. So yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Let's go to some of the news here from yesterday. Where were we? Oh, nope, that was after the fact. Oh, wow. How much did I do yesterday? All right. What was that? I went over the Rudy stuff. Transformers, 3 legendary Takara Tomy Toys franchise, one incredible collectible. They have a really cool action figure that's coming out. And you know what? I want it on VeVe when Transformers. When Hasbro. Pakistan has officially nominated Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize after he helped mediate a peace deal between them and India after war almost broke out. Agreed. Camera stream. President Trump threatens to fire Fed Chair Jerome Powell, calling him a dumb guy and a Trump hater. Agreed. So I don't know why Fed board doesn't override this total and complete moron. Maybe I'll have to go change my mind about firing him. He should have fired him months ago. Trump, if there's any time to have a backbone, it would be right now. Please, for the love of God, fire this guy. Josh Foster says, thanks to Stacker, I was able to sell some items and buy this Grail today. I can't wait to show it off down the road in the VeVeverse. I really began trying to afford it a few weeks ago, and it's gone up about $40 at that time. Amazing Fantasy number 15, the common, $169 hairs. Nice. And shout out to Stacker for making that possible. My boy. Problem is, yep. Okay. There's that. Mm-hmm. And again, shout out to Monk for coming in and joining the daCAT universe. I think they're great, guys. Definity makes so much freaking money. So I'm so glad I have a big bag of them. New season starts July 1st. Gold tickets will come eventually, but bronze tickets need to be fully delivered first, which means they're not fully delivered yet. And again, a new season starts July 1st. Somebody sold a Espeon Gold Star for $26,000. Good for them. I'm not jealous or nothing. And VeVe Magic getting her 5th, count them, 5th partner statue. 5 walls. Certainly a flex. Certainly a big flex. On this day, I see clearly. On this day, 9 years ago, it was very hot in Kuwait. We had temperatures in the 100 teens every single day. The summers in Kuwait are no joke. It's rough out there, boys. I promise this has a financial thing to it. Pearl Girl 1111 says she'll boink anyone who takes her to the cyber rodeo as a +1. And if you're not my type, you have to wear a bag over your head. And if I'm not yours, I'll wear the bag. Some guy named Chaser commented, says, I will eat booty for a +1. And Hallmark's catalog says, this is the power of Tesla's brand. Nobody is eating booty to see the Ford factory. But clearly people will to see the Tesla factory. Anyway, Congressman Thomas Massey calls to end the Federal Reserve. My man. BlackRock has just bought $46.9 million worth of Bitcoin. Whales are 100% buying the dip. That was as of yesterday, which is why I had no issue going in, and I had zero issue going in and buying, you know, some Ethereum today, is because they're going to do what they're going to do. And Ethereum seems to be going up slightly. I do have a little Ethereum. It is not really going to be much of a. No, oh shoot. I put 600 in. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta go to this chat here. Oh my gosh, where is the chat? Put another 200 into daCAT. That's 600 today. Untapped for now. I am tapped for now. Let's take a look at some of the rest of the news. I just want to see what I checked the market so long. A slight dip. Bitcoin is now under 103. It's at 102.9. Ethereum at under 2,300 is at 22.97. And let's go to the X here and see what other news has happened. You have Graham Allen saying he's lost his faith in his commander-in-chief. I didn't know he had faith in him to begin with. Tara Bull says now get the sleeper cells out. Why isn't... Oh, bro. Yeah, I remember going over this thing yesterday where Tim Walz had a horrible accusation cast upon him. I don't know if it's true or not. Wild. Speaker Johnson says Trump just sent a message to the world. Military operations in Iran should serve as a clear reminder to our adversaries and allies that President Trump means what he says. The President gave Iran's leader every opportunity to make a deal, but Iran refused to commit to a nuclear disarmament agreement. President Trump has been consistent and clear that a nuclear-armed Iran will not be tolerated. That posture has now been enforced with strength, precision, and clarity. The President's decisive action prevents the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, which chants death to America, from obtaining the most lethal weapon on the planet. This is America First policy in action. God bless our brave men and women in uniform, the most lethal fighting force on the planet, as we pray for their safe return home. May God bless America. There's this thing called EPRs that we have to do in the military, and we do it, is it once a quarter? Once a year? We do it a couple times a year, where we have to go and justify what we do at our jobs. Now, most of it is just like taking our busiest days and saying like, hey, what was the most impressive shit you did? Like this quarter, this year, whatever it is. And it's typing up in bullet points, did a crazy amount of work in no time, like moved so many different, oh my God, it's your chance to brag. It's your chance to go in and say, hey, I did X and the result was Y. You're fucking welcome. It's where we get a chance to shine and a chance to tell Uncle Sam why we deserve a raise, why we deserve to not be on 12-hour shifts or on fucking stateside. I fucking hated that. It's our chance to go in and now granted, nobody wants to do this. It's annoying. It's computer work. And for those of us that are actually out in the field doing stuff, computer work is very boring. Computer work is nobody likes it. As a 2T2, as an air transportation specialist, we load everything. We load bullets, we load beans, we load furniture, we load a lot of stuff on the aircraft. However, one of the most exciting things that we load is bombs. I mean what I say. I mean straight up bombs. Like, if we mess up, we take out a base. Like, if we mess up, people die. So that has to be handled with care. You generally don't want to do it while it's raining. You generally don't want to do it while lightning. You're not really supposed to have operations on the flight line when lightning's within 5 nautical miles. But I guarantee you, every air trans specialist that is in the Air Force today is putting on their EPRs loaded bombs that took out Iran's nuclear facility. I guarantee you that's what they're doing. I'm actually going to text a military person now. Let me go to Sergeant Bright and text my main man. Oh, all right, hold on. It's got to be BR. Is this the best one? All the airmen are gonna put loaded bombs that helped destroy Iran's nuclear facility on their EPRs. I know nobody's gonna get that except for military peeps. But I swear it's funny. I had some. Oh, thank you. Oh, what's up, JKRB? Thank you for the thumbs. Yeah, go USA. Iranian news anchor threatens U.S. bases, says Trump started it. We will end it. Okay, Iran. Okay, I'm saying Trump started it. We will end it. So obviously, I don't have to say like this is a stupid question. Like who has the world's biggest air force? U.S. Right? United States Air Force. Do you want to know who has the second largest air force in the world? The U.S. Navy. I repeat, U.S. has the largest air force in the world. The entity that has the second largest air force is the U.S. Navy. When Iran news anchor says like we will end it, good freaking luck, guy. The great thing about Trump is it doesn't take a false flag or forever war to handle business. Yeah, I mean, he wants to handle business like this, and boom, I said let him. According to a U.S. official who spoke with the New York Times, multiple GBU-57A or BMOP massive ordnance penetrator 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs were dropped on Iran's Fordow nuclear facility, which was estimated to be up to 90 meters underground inside a mountain, with initial damage assessments indicated that the facility had been taken off the table. So this story is a little well-traveled, so read in between the lines here. There's a story about a Marine unit that had what's called a doc with them, just like the person that was PJ or anyone that is trained to, you know, sew people up. The training they have to go through is brutal, and apparently Doc got hit in the arm in a firefight, and the CO said, like, where did it come from? That hill over there, sir. Erase it. And the hill 3 minutes later was no longer there. Remember in The Dark Knight in 2008, where Harvey Dent, played by Aaron Eckhart, said that the Joker's a mad dog. I want whoever let him off the leash. The airmen, soldiers, Marines, seamen, whoever that are in the military, We are very much mad dogs. We are crazy. We run on caffeine. We hate our lives. And we all have depression, maybe a little bit of anxiety, and a deep, blinding rage that we need to have. We need to take out sometimes. If you let them off the leash, oh God, the Geneva suggestions. There's, yeah, I've heard these stories from I think it's from the Norway troops from Norway, where all the other militaries that we've served with, they love us because if you're ever in a firefight, who do you want like answering the call? Like you want American troops because there's zero F's given. There is zero concern for our own safety because like, okay, what's my life going to do? Get any worse? I hope that no civilians are harmed. I hope that this ends it. I hope there's no need for any other loss of life or anything of the like. But damn, that is, yeah. Anyway, U.S. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene slams Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu. There would not be bombs falling on the people of Israel if Netanyahu had not dropped bombs on the people of Iran first. Israel is a nuclear-armed nation. This is not our fight. Peace is the answer. Peace should be the answer. Hopefully now it is. Freddy's Beach Bar, the closest gay bar to the Pentagon, was reporting very low traffic at 9:01 Eastern, then suddenly surged to above average levels at 9:03. Why this matters is because there's something called the Pentagon Pizza Index, where if pizza places around the Pentagon are really busy, that means something's going on. If they're not, and the nearest gay bars that are closest in proximity to the Pentagon are popping, then you know nothing's going on. And apparently the Freddy's Beach Bar, the closest gay bar to the Pentagon, was popping as of 18 minutes ago. So I guess that means nothing else is going on. President Trump tells Fox the U.S. completely obliterated Iran's Fordo nuclear facility with 6 bunker busters dropped from B-2 bombers rather than just 2. Natanz and Estefan nuclear sites were wiped out using 30 missiles from American submarines 400 miles away. God, it feels good to be an American. And I'm proud to be an American. Or at least I know I'm free. Dude, the amount of trading volume that has spiked recently, wild. All right, and now stuff's going back down again. Okay, interesting. Why we spike up and go back down? Why, guys? Make up your freaking minds. Curious. Oh, heyo, 10K. All right, give me 1 sec. Where's my guy? Thanks, fam. Got an extra $100 here. Received. Will be doing deal on Monday. On Monday, I'll ask for your OMI address on ETH. Yeah. Okay, give me 1 second. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, sorry, divided by 18. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Let's continue on in our Gary O at 1234CA3 says, hey, Market Smart, this escalated quickly. 49 in circulation, 31 burnt. Talking about Daredevil first appearance. VeVe4 price is $620 and he got one. He got that bread. 619. A whale yesterday has bought 30,000 ETH worth $72.9 million. In the past 10 days, this whale has bought 116,292 ETH worth $282.6 million. Heckin' wild. Bitcoin has a larger market cap than Bank of America and Bank of China combined. $11 trillion BlackRock now owns 5.6% of MicroStrategy. I repeat, $11 trillion asset manager BlackRock now has over 5.5% of MicroStrategy. Stuff be crazy. BlackRock bought 1.2 billion worth of Bitcoin this week alone. I repeat, BlackRock bought 1.2 billion worth of Bitcoin this week alone. We are going to send to absolute bananas heights. Michael Saylor predicts Bitcoin will hit $21 million in 21 years. That is $1 million per year on average, which is insane. West VeVe is now the biggest holder in the world of the Incredible Hulk number 449 by a long shot. More than double the amount of Mr. Rolex. So again, people going crazy. Have I told you lately? BlackRock now holds 3% of all Bitcoins. I repeat, BlackRock now holds 3% of all Bitcoins in their ETF. Wild. Semler Scientific announces that it plans to hold 105,000 Bitcoins by year end of 2027, less than 2.5 years away. South Korean authorities submit spot crypto ETF approval roadmap, and Coinbase secures EU crypto license, swaps Ireland for Luxembourg as main hub. I went over the fact that Binance has gone over and announced the DMC listing. Crypto Beast Real says, I said it 10 times, I will say it again. MEXC exchange is a scam. Don't use it. And Abraxas.eth says, MEXC freezes funds, delists coins mid-pump, shadow bans withdrawals, pretends it's a liquidity issues. You don't need a scammer with a white paper. You just need MEXC. There is a lot of MEXC hate today. I think part of that is because what they said, and also the fact that Definity, CoinGecko no longer shows MEXC as listing Definity, which is wild. Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve is officially signed into law. I repeat, the Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve is officially signed into law. That is as much news as I want to get over today. Let's go back to David Yu adding the tweet to his story. He's sharing a new reel he shared a new reel for The Count that we have coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow, be holding you high, and there's nowhere in the world I'd rather be. Here in my room, dreaming about you. I could put in some extra ETH now, but I would have to sell it back. I will not put any ETH, or I will not put any funds into daCAT that I will have to sell. I will not sell any daCAT in any meaningful way. Maybe a tiny bit when I get a what's that called? A tiny bit when I get my tattoo, but that might be about it. By daCAT, not just being the big boys. By the way, most Bitcoin is suffering through. Yep. Rotate the capitalist. I might sell a tiny bit when I get a tattoo, or send it to the tattoo artist as payment. Okay, moving on here. I believe you skipped my question. Let's see where your question is. No, I did not. I answered it before, but you might not have liked the answer, because you said, at what point will we know the narrative hasn't come? 2027 question mark. And I asked what narrative, because there are many narratives that could potentially be at play here. Could be DeSci, could be DeFi, NFTs, gaming, memes, AI, metaverse. When you specify which narrative, then I will answer. You say Zafez says MEXC is a scam site anyway. That's what a lot of people were saying. So Definity only triple on Uniswap and PancakeSwap when exchanges. I would rather DFINITY use the funds that they make, and they make a lot. I would rather them use that to grow the company, partially because I own part of the company, and partially because I think that is the best allocation of resources. It's an institution. Institutions will be buying. If they want to go in, well, before the end of the year, they'll come out with an announcement where it's going to be, it's like, oh, okay, now I understand. Like, I'll keep you posted on. Anyway, one more quick thing for, oh shoot, who dis? Yeah. Oh, they are going to put loaded bombs that help destroy an nuclear facility on the EPR. Yeah. I got an extra $100 hairs. What should I do with it? Should I get more daCAT? I don't know. I put $600 into daCAT just now. I posted a thing saying, do you buy more comics or collectibles on VeVe on the Facebook as of 8 hours ago? And as of right now, most people say they buy more comics than they do collectibles, and a couple of people say they equally buy the same. Adam Eats says comics by nearly a 4-to-1 margin. Prince says collectibles. Gary O says comics. Sean Berg says comics. So comics are really like the thing. Glad. Okay. Greg Abbott says, I stand with Donald Trump in the United States of America. Tara Bull says, I stand with, yep, and I'll say I support my president. Cat season, Trump right now, saying great success. Dems left out. Trump only briefed GOP ahead of strikes on Iran. Sources say Republicans, including Tom Cotton and Rick Crawford, got early updates from the White House ahead of the U.S. strikes on Iran. But key Democrat leaders were not briefed at all. Democrat Jim Himes and Mark Warner were shut out completely. If you're going to keep people out, keep everyone out. Because you don't want this to leak. I'm glad they kept Democrats out, but they should have kept everyone else out. Like, you shouldn't have known about this unless you absolutely had to. I don't know why Tom Cotton and Rick Crawford got to know beforehand. Nobody should have known about this. So I agree that you should have kept Dems out, but you also should have kept Republicans out as well, because you don't want any leaks. Jojo says, you own part of the company. Do you own tokens or both? Both. I own quite a bit of DFINITY tokens, and I own a very small amount of the DFINITY business. When they bought into part of the channel, so I already owned a super small amount of the company anyway, but when they bought into part of the channel, and they did so at a very nice valuation, it was only part cash. It was only part USDT or USDC. It was mostly they bought into part of the Randy Chavez channel, and I got into. We just did I forget what it was called. I can just read it right now because it's in my highlights. London. DFINITY Markets, the first full-stack institutional digital asset matching and settlement platform for fiat and digital assets, is thrilled to announce its strategic acquisition of an equity stake in the popular YouTube channel, The Real Randy Chavez. This investment marks a significant milestone in our ongoing partnership with Randy Chavez, who's been a shareholder and advocate for DFINITY Markets since 2023. So I've owned it for quite a while. Randy Chavez, known for his engaging content and in-depth analysis of the crypto and financial markets, along with his new daCAT universe premiering on VeVe later this year, has built a loyal and dedicated audience on his YouTube channel. With a keen eye for emerging trends and a passion for educating his viewers, Randy has become a trusted voice in the industry. His content aligns perfectly with DFINITY Markets' mission to democratize access to financial markets and provide transparent, secure, and innovative trading solutions. Quote, investing in Randy's YouTube channel was a natural progression for us. Randy's expertise and reach in the digital asset community will make him an invaluable partner. This acquisition not only strengthens our brand, but also allows us to tap into a highly engaged audience that shares our vision for the future of finance. End quote. This was said by Manu Chaudhary, CEO of DFINITY Markets. Randy Chavez, who already owns a minority stake in DFINITY Markets, expressed his enthusiasm about the partnership, and I said, I'm excited to deepen my relationship with Definity Markets to include cross-shareholding, that's the word. Their commitment to innovation and transparency resonates with my own values, and I'm looking forward to continuing to educate and inform my audience about the opportunities in the institutional digital asset space. So the cross-share, end quote. So the cross-shareholding is really what mostly went down. Like most of the deal was, hey, they get part of my channel, I get part of their company, and then they gave me some cash as well. I still have not heard anything back from the Bump team members. I could send a thing again. He was on. He was seen on Telegram not too long ago. You guys need more funds to last until the bull market hits. Again, I'll reach out again, but I just said, do you guys need more funds to last until the bull market hits? I'll let you know what he says. What was the Definity valuation you got at? I don't think I can really say, or it's not my place to say. But I'll say this: I got an additional 0.1% of the company. Give me 1 sec. 10 is point. Okay, 1 is. Yeah, I got like an additional 0.1% of the company, like 0.1, like slightly above that. But I can't say really more than that. I just reached out again to Jonathan DeCarteret, and we'll see what happens. All right, I have to bounce. I will catch y'all later. I love y'all. Class dismissed. Bye guys. Yeah. Yeah. End stream. Yeah. Randy. Never mind.